everyone, welcome back to a new episode. I am tired today. You know those days where, I don't know, I just couldn't sleep last night and I don't know why. Like my body just felt wired. I've got a coffee, which I never usually have in my little Costa cup if anyone is watching this on YouTube. But yeah, I'm not a coffee drinker and it makes me a bit like, ooh. But I've got a long drive later, so I thought better get myself a coffee. I've already had half of it, and honestly whenever I have half a coffee, that is enough for me for the rest of the day. So I already feel like I'm going to be like, whoa, wired for this for this new episode today. And today's episode is all about positive habits, positive daily habits, positive habits that you can bring into your life to change your life for the better. And all of these habits and all of these things that I've brought into my life and into my reality are things that have changed my life for the better. And literally I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't brought these habits into my daily routine. What do I mean by positive daily habits? Well, I mean, leveling up my reality, I don't know if you can hear that really annoying bird outside. I don't know what kind of bird it is, but it's always really, really noisy. And it, of course, has chosen now to squawk. Squawk? I don't know, it just sounds like a squawk. But yeah, okay. So these... Oh, there it goes again, right as I'm about to talk. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Okay, I think we're okay. I feel like you can kind of hear it, but it doesn't really matter, a bit of nature into my podcast. I love that. So, positive daily habits, they've helped me to literally level up all areas of my life. They've helped me to accept myself and my body exactly as I am, find out more about the true version of me, and heightened my confidence in general, and just generally, helping me to level up myself and my life. So these are what have helped me. If you want to continue watching and listening to this and level up your life with me, then feel free to keep listening and to keep watching. Let's get into it. Okay, so a little bit about habit building, right? So according to health psychology researcher Philip Lally at University College London, in a study published in the European Journal of Social Psychology, new behaviours take more than 2 months to form into automatic behaviours. So essentially, more specifically, it takes about 66 days to form a new habit, whether that is a good habit, a bad habit, helpful, unhelpful, It takes about 66 days roundabouts. So building new habits or reconfiguring unhelpful habits does take time, but the good news is that it will become easy and it will become effortless. Whatever the new thing is that you're trying to do, it will eventually feel just natural to you, and it will come naturally to you when you repeat it for at least 66 days, give or take, And I think that one thing to remember and to give yourself grace for with forming new habits is that it is difficult, like not every day is going to be perfect. Like you're potentially going to miss a couple of days, and that is completely okay. Don't beat yourself up for that, because we are human beings, not robots. So it doesn't matter if you miss a day or, you miss a couple of days and then you have to get yourself back on track, as long as for the majority of this 66 days, or the majority of time, you are acting in a way that would enhance your new habit. So let's get into talking about the habits and the things that I did to change my life in the last year or so, maybe less than that. But yeah, let's get straight into it, guys. Number one, thank you, bird. Number one, having a no phone, minimal but mindful morning routine. This took me ages to master. I was literally trying to do my whole day in the morning. I was having a conversation about this with one of my friends the other day. I was like, why do we feel like we have to get every single thing done in the first hour of our day? Like, that is so unrealistic. And also, you have the rest of the day. Like, you don't need to do absolutely everything in the morning. Like, you don't need to cram in like 50 million different things into an hour. So that was my thing that I kept trying to do. I was like, oh, I'll do a bit of meditation, a bit of journaling. I'll watch a helpful YouTube video. I'll listen to an educational podcast. I'll enhance my skills in some way. I'll do some self-development. I'll go to the gym. I'll do a workout video on YouTube. Like, all of these things I was trying to cram in. Then I was like, and then I'll make a really healthy, nutritious breakfast to kickstart my day. Maybe I'll take my dog for a walk as well. Like, I was just trying to put so much into my morning routine that I was just not able to do it all. So I finally got to a place where I have a very minimal but very mindful morning routine, and that sets me up for success for the day ahead. So my morning routine is simply waking up either with a gentle alarm or just letting my body wake up when it wants to, when I don't have like meetings or client calls or anything that I particularly need to be up at a certain time for. I just let my body wake up when it wants to wake up, which is usually about 8 o'clock. But then I just give myself the time and the grace to get up in my own time, to go and brush my teeth. I am like a brush teeth before breakfast kind of gal. I'm sorry if you don't agree, but I don't know, I just don't like having that weird taste in my mouth. I just have to go and brush my teeth as soon as I get up. I don't know if anyone is with me. Comment down below, let me know on Instagram if you're a teeth brushing before or after breakfast kind of girl. But I'm definitely before breakfast. So yeah, go and brush my teeth. I also find that drinking like nearly a full pint of water helps me to wake up and just feel fresh, because I don't know whether I sleep with my mouth open or what, but sometimes my mouth and my like tongue is really dry when I wake up. I think like sometimes when I'm in a deep sleep I must go like a dog, like no, that's not like a dog. Just like, I don't know, I must sleep with my mouth slightly open. But anyway, so yeah, drinking nearly a pint of water helps to just get my brain going and just to wake up and revitalize myself. So I brush my teeth, have some water, I get out my journal, and I just write immediately what I'm grateful for when I've woken up. And a lot of the time that is, I'm grateful for this new day, because why not? Like, I am grateful that I've woken up for a new day. I'm grateful that the sky is blue. That is often one that I write because I can see out my window. I'm looking out right now, like it's blue skies out there, and I'm really grateful when the blue skies are out there because it immediately makes me feel more happy. And then I also write like I'm grateful for my surroundings. So I tend to do like 3 external gratitudes. Well, I don't really stick to a specific amount, to be honest, because sometimes my gratitudes literally just flow off the page, and sometimes I'll do like a full journal page, and sometimes I'll be struggling a little bit, or my brain will feel a little bit like cloudy, so I won't do a full page. But like, I'm not strict with myself, but I just write down external gratitude, so things that I have in my surroundings, other people in my life, all of the amazing blessings that I have. And then I also do some gratitudes about my character and like what I have within myself. So it'll be I'm grateful for my determination, I'm grateful for my creativity, I'm grateful for my kindness, and things like that, because it really just allows you to take ownership of yourself and to also just boost your self-confidence and realize like what you have to offer and what you have to offer in that day ahead. Yeah, I do a bit of journaling. And I'm going to talk about this kind of practice a little bit later on in a different habit. So I do a little bit of journaling, a little bit of meditation and visualization, just depending on how I'm feeling in the day. And the key thing to note here is that I don't put pressure on doing a specific thing. Like, as long as I'm doing a little bit of journaling, a little bit of meditation, connecting with my body, like giving myself that grounded moment, it takes me about 40 minutes. And I know that does actually sound quite a long time, but I think you've got to take into account that I'm like waking up slowly, I'm waking my brain up slowly. Sometimes it will take me less time, sometimes it will take me more, but on the whole it's about 40 minutes to really just get out everything that I'm feeling, set my intention for the day, and then do a guided visualization or a meditation to really just set and solidify my energy for the day. So that is my morning routine. Well, you know, I say that is my morning routine, but I also add on to the end a little bit of personal development reading. I found that it's too much to try and answer the journal questions, because I'm part of a few different personal development memberships, and I have lots of personal development books, and at the end of each chapter of personal development books they often have like journal prompts or activities to do, which I love, but I've been finding that it's a bit too much to do that in my morning routine. So I generally read a chapter of a personal development book, or, you know, listen to a podcast or watch a YouTube video, something that will just like enhance my personal development in some way. So I'll do that, and then I'll just go downstairs, say hello to Thor if he hasn't already run into my room, because he has taken to just nudging the door to see, because sometimes it doesn't fully close, like it's just kind of on the catch, like, and I don't realise that it's just on the catch, so sometimes he'll like run into the door and it will just open and then he'll come and say hello to me. So if I've not already said hello to Thor, I'll go and say hello and have a little cuddle and then make my breakfast and then get on with my day. So yeah, it's just like a little something that, you know, it doesn't have to take hours, it doesn't need to take really a long time. Like, if you're just getting into meditation and visualization and things, what I started out doing is just doing a 5-minute meditation, just to like recenter yourself and to get to know your thoughts, because when you're meditating, when you're just centering into that moment, that is when all of the thoughts come into your head, and then you can start noticing what comes in and start catching if things aren't helpful for your peace, and to start just releasing those thoughts before you enter the day, and you can start to set your energy for the rest of the day. So yeah, that is my first habit that I've really built into my daily routine and into my life in general, and it has changed the game for me. Like, this morning I woke up feeling so groggy and gross because I was like, I've not slept well. I had really weird dreams in the night. I was like sweating in the night. You know when you wake up and you've got like cold sweat on your, like, under your neck? Oh no, it was horrible. That is TMI, I'm so sorry. But yeah, so yeah, I was like, oh, I felt so like groggy and disgusting. And then I did my morning routine and I feel so much better. I feel so much more positive, and I'm not letting the narrative that happened throughout the night, in my dreams, just generally like the bad energy that was like surrounding me in the night, I've not taken that into my day, and that is because of my morning routine. So yeah, just a successful little morning routine, whatever works for you, will change your life. And number 2, romanticizing everything. So if you don't know what romanticizing means, it basically is just like making things more fun, making things more enjoyable, like living your life as if you're in a romance movie is basically how I think about it. Because your life gets to be like a fairy tale. I try and make mine like a fairy tale. So literally everything that I do, I try and make it fun in some way, even if I'm like cleaning my granddad's toilet that I was doing yesterday. It's like, you can put on your favorite music, you can listen to a podcast, you can like do, like, you can put on a movie, like you can literally romanticize everything. Like in my space when I'm working and doing things on my laptop, I'll like look out at the sky and just feel so happy and like romanticizing that. And I will set a candle from my little candle stash at the back of my room, and that just brings in that positive energy. And just connect with your inner child it kind of goes hand in hand with romanticizing everything, like making things more fun. Like, what would younger you want to be doing today? Like, how would they want to be showing up today? Would they be fun and silly and you just like playing and making things more easy and fun and like exciting? Or would they be really, really serious? Would they be worrying about everything and stressing about everything? So I have recently been connecting with my inner child through dancing and just having a little energy shake up. Like, I put on a good tune and just start like shimmying around my room and just like letting it out as if no one is watching me, because I just feel like that would be what my inner child would want to do. And I have also started adult colouring books. So I bought some pastel felt tips and I'm just doing some colouring because I just feel like, I mean, one, my inner child would love it. Two, I love it because the feel of a felt tip pen going over the paper, I don't know what it is about it, but it just feels so therapeutic. So I love doing that. Yeah, just generally, how can you bring in more fun into your daily routine? And the more that you do it, as I say, the more that it will become a habit, and the more your brain will immediately be like, how am I going to bring more fun into today? Like, what am I going to do to connect with my inner child today and to let my inner child run wild today? I mean, within reason, but you know, like, just bring in more fun into your daily routine. Okay, that is number 2. Number 3, invest in your own self-development, in yourself, in any way that you want to do that. When I started investing into myself and into my own personal development, that is truly when everything changed for me. Like, the biggest investment that I made was to become a coach, to get my accreditation. And that is something that has changed my life considerably. Like, I now work with one-to-one clients and I get to help women around the world because of that decision, and that has changed my life. So I invested in that. I've invested in various self-development courses. I have been part of a couple of memberships. I'm part of a membership now. I have also invested in a personal trainer to like really just get in touch with my body and just feel strong and flexible in my body. And yeah, when you invest in yourself, that is the ultimate form of self-care. It is the ultimate form of showing yourself self-love and showing yourself the love that you would so freely give to others. And I see it like, this is just treating myself like my best friend, treating myself like a loved one, because I am someone that I should love above everyone else. And that, I don't mean that in like a narcissistic, like, oh, I'm above everyone kind of thing. No, it's investing in your own energy and in things that will bring happiness and joy and peace into your life. So I guess that's not really a habit, but it kind of is, like making yourself a top priority, investing in yourself, whether that is actually financially investing in yourself, whether that is a time investment into yourself, whether that's an emotional investment, whatever it is, whatever kind of investment it is. When I started actually giving myself the time and energy that I would so freely give to others, that is when everything changed for me. When I started connecting with who I actually am and what I actually want out of this life, that is when the big shifts in my life actually occurred, and I realised what I wanted. I realised what I had to do to get there and what I have to bring into my life every single day in order to get there. But I make it fun, like the journey gets to be fun, like it doesn't have to be this scary thing. So getting to know yourself, getting to know what you want out of this life, what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, that is also key to changing your life. So bring in that habit, investing into yourself, investing into your future, investing into everything that brings you joy, everything that builds you up and lets you investigate yourself a little bit more. Because by investing in yourself, you are giving yourself the ultimate level of self-care. And you deserve it. You deserve to do that. The fourth thing that I did to really change my current reality is to remove the energy drainers from my current existence. So that can look like removing friendships or relationships, or it can be removing things and places that you go that don't make you feel good. It can be unfollowing people that don't make you feel good, or unfollowing negative like forces that are in the world. You know, it can be, a big one for me is to stop like looking at the news all the time, because as we know, there's always like a negative news cycle, as long as we're kind of aware of what is going on in the world. But I just think that looking at the news all the time, it can be very draining and very negative. So I've actually brought in there are some great news sources that are specifically for happy news. So I look at those because they show the good and the bad, but focusing on the good, which is always a great thing to do. But yeah, so a big thing that I have done and consciously do, and it has created this habit, is I always assess, like if I feel like that there is an energy that feels negative, like especially in my social sphere, like on social media especially, I make sure that I'm only following people that inspire me, that hold my values, that support what I'm doing, that that, you know, are on my path, on my self-development journey with me. And a way that I do this, and something that will be very helpful, because it's not one of those where you can like unfollow everyone you've ever known. Like, I know that would be such a big task, and also like I don't really want to unfollow everyone I ever knew, because like they're there, you know, you can catch up with them if you want to. But what I have done on Instagram is I consciously use it. Like, I don't just mindlessly scroll through. I use the favorites tab on Instagram, which is basically like, if you tap on following, it's in the left hand corner. If you tap following, there should also be a drop down the list that comes up, and it says favorites or something like that. Yeah, I can't, or it might say home, and then you tap it and it goes following and favorites. But if you tap on that, then you can create a favorites list. And I have basically added in loads of wonderful creators in the body acceptance and confidence space. And when I go onto Instagram, I only really engage on their posts. and that is because they inspire me and they lift me up and they make me feel good in my body, and I'm not comparing myself to them, I'm inspired by them, and I'm like, wow, you're doing so well. And I love to see those posts, and that is not to say that I don't still like look at my friends' posts and things like that, but sometimes I do miss them. So I'm sorry, like if you're my friend, then let me know if I've missed any of your recent posts. But yeah, I just use it more consciously, rather than just like mindlessly scrolling, because I find that has really protected my peace and my energy, and has really changed my life for the better, because I used to spend hours just scrolling through, like comparing myself, because the more that you scroll through, the more you are guaranteed to start comparing yourself to what everyone else is doing and what everyone else is having and what everyone else has done and what everyone else is doing, and just falling into that game. Like, you're bound to, because that is just what you're surrounding yourself with. So start using social media more consciously, and it will change your life, I promise you. And if there are any friendships that you are thinking, has this person really supported what I'm doing? Do the conversations that we have leave me feeling more drained or inspired? Like, what do I come away from these situations feeling? Because that is the most important thing. And recognizing that and just becoming really aware of that has changed my life. And I now only meet up with people and only create new friendships with like-minded souls, because life is simply too short to keep the company of people that don't share the same values as you. And that is okay. We're not meant to be friends with absolutely everyone. And that is something that has taken me ages to actually come to terms with, because I have always been a person that I was a massive people pleaser. Like, I wanted everyone to like me, and if they didn't like me, then that meant that I'd failed, and that meant that I was not good enough. And I'm still working on coming to the realization that not everyone is gonna like me. And that has really helped with posting on social media as well. Like, everyone is gonna have an opinion, whether it's good or bad. Everyone's gonna have an opinion, everyone's gonna have some sort of judgment. It is just human nature. So you can't control how anyone is going to react. So you might as well just do what you want to do and do what's going to make you happy. Meet up with the people that bring you joy, and unfortunately, in the nicest way possible, cut ties with the energy that doesn't match yours. And it's okay to do that. So yes, that is number 4. Number 5. This one has really changed my life for the better. And that is getting out into nature, and also switching off when you're in nature. Like, I used to go out with a podcast in, and I don't know whether I was just listening to the wrong podcasts at the time, but I would come back from my walk feeling worse than when I went out. And like, I don't know if anyone will actually relate to that, but what I found is if I just go out and I switch off, like, I have my phone with me just in case of emergency, but I don't look at my phone unless I'm taking a video of Thor running through the pond, because it's so cute and he does it every single time. But yeah, so I just disconnect and I let myself just feel. And I just thought of the part in the Barbie movie, just feel. Oh, I love it. Yeah, so I allow myself to just switch off. I always go for my walks at the end of the day as well, so that I'm like, I've got my day's work done, I can just disconnect. And because a lot of my work is online, is on tablet, or not tablet, barely ever on tablet, is on like laptop and screen, and you know what I mean. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So gosh, I'm in such a silly mood today and I love it. So yeah, getting out into nature and just switching off from the online sphere has been so helpful, because you just connect with the world around you. You take in the noises of the birds, which is a sound that I love, apart from that squawking one earlier, but listening to the sound of the dogs running around, and you know, also it opens up the opportunity to connect with the people around you as well, like saying hello to the people that you pass by, because sometimes in a working day the only person I see is my mum. Like sometimes I don't see anyone because I'm just in my room, so it's nice to actually connect with whoever is out for a walk with their dog. Or if I don't see anyone, then that's fine too, but it just opens up the opportunity to have different conversations, to meet new people, to enjoy the nature and everything that there is to offer out in the world, which in itself is a gratitude practice. And gratitude practice is, no, practicing gratitude is one of the things that has changed my life for the better in so many ways. That is number 5. Get out into nature consciously, switch off from your surroundings, maybe don't even listen to anything. I love not listening to anything. Sometimes I'll get my phone out as like a dictaphone, because I have a dictaphone on my phone, or I'll just use like the voice notes. I voice note myself with telling myself like how I'm feeling, and like verbally journaling out what I'm thinking and how the day has gone and what I'm proud of in the day and things, and I find that quite releasing as well. But sometimes I don't even bother. Sometimes I just literally talk to myself. So if anyone ever sees me on a walk, then yeah, I'm just talking to myself. So yeah, we all do it. Maybe we don't, but yeah, sometimes I talk to myself, because sometimes it's like, what is the point in talking into my voice note, because I might never listen back to it. But then also it's nice to have it to listen back to. So, you know, it depends on the day, and I'm not hard on myself, which is something else that is a habit that I've created for myself. Like, I used to be so hard on myself for everything. I used to be my worst critic, and literally, if you knew me as a child, I was so competitive. I grew up in like performing industry and competitive swimming, and I would literally cry when I didn't get a personal best time in like a swimming event, or I would cry if I didn't get a part in a play, or like even at school if I didn't get picked in a game or something. Like, oh, I was just so hard on myself, and I thought that the world was against me. And I have created a habit to stop being so hard on myself, to allow my body to be where it wants to be, to allow my energy levels to be where they are right now. It is something, and it is challenging, and it is something that you have to build on every single day, and it is a habit that you have to bring into your life to catch those thoughts and those feelings that come in about yourself and be like, this is not serving me, right? This is not like giving myself the love that I would so freely give to others. Oh my gosh, my voice is going. So yeah, my 6th habit that has changed my life is catching my negative self-talk and looking at where it has actually come from and what it actually means, or what would be more useful for my peace. And like building that habit, I think that is probably one of the most important habits that I have built, because it has literally changed everything from tearing myself down all the time, comparing myself to others all the time, like all of that I used to do, I now don't do anymore. And if I do fall into that habit, I notice it straight away. I notice that my energy isn't right because I've started doing these things. And so I start thinking like, where has that come from? What is actually at play here? How can I switch up this narrative to create a more positive narrative for myself? How can I support myself right now rather than tear myself down? And that was such a lengthy process. And even to this day, like, I still get negative thoughts come in. And as I said before, we're humans, right? This isn't an overnight fix. Like, it isn't something that will completely go away, but you will create a system where you can deal with those thoughts that come in. And you can reframe them and you can feel better really, really quickly, because you learn how to deal with them and you learn to be your own best friend rather than the person that tears you down the most out of everyone in the world, right? So yeah, catch your negative self-talk, make that a habit, and start thinking, what would be most helpful for me to say to myself right now? And start becoming that daily support that you look for in other people. Start being that for yourself. And number 7 is, as I was talking about earlier, is my daily journal and visualization practice. And I explained my journaling morning practice. In the evening, I will think about what went well in the day, any brain dump kind of vibe that I want to get out onto the paper. And I also visualize on paper what I want for my future. So I might say, like, I am in my amazing light and airy apartment. I am on a beach in Bali. Like, what I want for my future, I write it out as if I've already got it right now. So yeah, and it really helps me to write it out, because a lot of the time when I get into bed, I'm like, I'm too tired to do a guided visualization. I really need to like write it out, because that it feels more real and more like I can focus my brain to do that. But yeah, that really depends on the day as well. So yeah, I do that. And also my visualization practice, in the morning I will use a guided visualization or meditation, just depending on what I want for that day, whether I need to release negative energy or whether I need to visualize my highest self, meet my highest self. I just choose a guided visualization or meditation that I want to do for that particular day. And yeah, and then sometimes I'll fall asleep to a guided meditation as well, which is always great to just set your, like, there's something about when you fall asleep, you're in a certain frequency that is more likely to manifest things quicker. Now I don't know the specifics, but yeah, it's a very powerful time for visualization. So yeah, it's always great to use a daily meditation, a daily sleep meditation more specifically. Number 8, I think we're at, is I started setting my intention every single day. And this allows you to really take ownership of your day. Like, you're not just letting things happen to you, you're setting your intention for how you're going to show up today to make yourself proud. So how are you showing up today to show yourself love? How are you showing up today to be your own best friend? How are you showing up today? How are you showing up today to make your past self and your future self proud? And I set that intention in my journaling practice every single day. And then at the end, you kind of reflect on it and you're like, oh, that is how I showed up with this intention today. And yeah, that really allows you to stop letting everything just happen to you and take ownership for how you want to show up in that day and how you want to communicate with people and how you want to be your highest self and be your best self throughout the day. And that is so, so powerful. And number 9, making a vision board. This is such a powerful tool. I guess it's not really a habit, but it is definitely something that is very, very useful to change your life and to really get clear with what you want your life to look like and what you want your highest self to achieve and to connect with that highest self vision. So the way that I do this is I just go onto Pinterest. I type in exactly what I want or the vibe of what I want, and I find the pictures that suit that, and then I go into Canva and I copy and paste those in. It's really simple, just like place them on a page, you know. I'll type in like desktop wallpaper or something and pop all of those pictures onto that wallpaper in a way that looks pretty and nice. And this also helps with the romanticizing your life thing, because then you look at that vision board every single day and you just see it coming into fruition. Like, you see yourself working towards those goals every single day because you have such a clear vision of what those goals actually are and what they actually look like. So that is something that is really, really useful. I have one on my desktop, I have one on my iPhone, and what I've done on my iPhone is I've intermingled some photos of like me and Thor, me and my family, me and my friends as well, so that it's like my future self is already connecting with my present self, and so that will mean that I can manifest my desires quicker, right? I think that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. But yeah, so create a vision board for what you want your life to look like. And finally, the final habit that I am currently working on to change my life for the better, number 10, is drinking. So I'm not sober, but I drink a lot less than I once did, and I don't know whether that's just because like I'm growing up and I meet up with my friends less than I did, but when I do meet up with my friends, we only have like a few drinks here and there, and there's something within me that just stops myself from drinking because I'm like, I'm just happy being me. Like, I don't need anything to mask that, and that is not against anyone that drinks, you know, like, you do you, like, I support you. But for me personally, like, alcohol is a depressant, right? So I always feel awful the next day. Like, even if I've just had 1 or 2 drinks, I feel the energy is so, like, I feel my energy being drained out of me. Like, the next day I just feel so drained energetically and I feel so negative. And so that is why I've really cut down. Like, I barely ever have like a social drink. Like, if I do, I'll have like a rosé spritzer. And I enjoy that, and I enjoy the fact that I can just be myself and not have to rely on anything. So that is something that, I mean, maybe at one point I'll actually go fully sober, I don't know, but at the moment I'm kind of just enjoying like having a few here and there, but not really overdoing it and not getting like blackout drunk, because that is what I used to do at uni. And I don't know whether it's just because I'm out of uni now, like I'm not in that environment anymore, like I'm not going out twice a week or whatever, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know, I guess I like a drink here and there, but I'm not massively like, oh, I really want to drink, you know what I mean? So yeah. And I just find that has really helped with my energy and keeping my positive energy. So yeah, I guess that's not really a habit either. So I guess this episode is more like just things that I've brought into my life or things that I'm releasing in my life to change my life for the better. So yeah, that brings me to the end of today's episode. I hope that you've enjoyed, and if you've taken anything away from this episode today, is to just start putting yourself first and to just connect with yourself, and that is the best way to change your life forever for the better and to truly meet the truest version of you. So yes, if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave me a 5-star review. I've heard that is good. So yeah, please do that. And if you're watching on YouTube, leave me a comment down below letting me know if you try any of these habits or any of these things, if you've brought any of these into your life, or if you plan to bring in any of these to your life. And yeah, I will speak to you again next week. Have a lovely week, everyone. Lots of love. Goodbye.